Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive channel. Recently, Mariah Carey released a remake of her Christmas song, Oh Santa, and she collaborated with Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande on the song. And this collaboration is very exciting to me for several reasons. For one, I love the fact that Mariah Carey revived this song because I always loved Oh Santa, but the original version wasn't as popular as it could have been. So Mariah Carey recruited Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande, who are two vocal giants, to take on this song with her. And I absolutely loved this collaboration. I liked the arrangement and I thought the vocals were amazing. And I know a lot of people are making a big deal about Mariah and Ariana Grande's vocals, which were great. But I do want to show some love to Jennifer Hudson because I loved her voice on this song too. People give Jennifer flack for screaming, and yes, Jennifer does scream at times, but on this song, I thought she was perfect. She added the right amount of soul that the song needed, and Mariah and Ariana were incredible. When they harmonized those whistle notes together, I was done. I was like, this is iconic. And it would have been even better if Jennifer Hudson did her whistles with them because Jennifer Hudson can actually whistle too. A lot of people don't know Jennifer Hudson can hit those high whistles, but she can. But I do think Mariah shared the moment with Ariana as a way to embrace her and even pass the torch almost. And I think it was a great moment because for years, there was rumors that Ariana and Mariah had some tension between each other. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that. Now, taking it all back, before Ariana Grande made herself known in the music industry, she actually was an actress on two of Nickelodeon's hit shows, Victorious and Sam and Cat. But she began getting a lot of attention outside of the show once she started doing singing covers online. And the CEO of Republic Records noticed her talent and signed her. Now, when Ariana Grande did a cover of Mariah Carey's song Emotions, she went viral. And that's when the label had in mind to position Ariana as the next Mariah Carey.
Being compared to Mariah Carey and stuff like that, how does that feel to have that sort of compliment?
I just am so honored to even have my name used in the same sentence. It's very cool. She's been an inspiration to me, her and Whitney Houston, my whole life. So it's an incredible compliment, and it means a lot to me.
The media played a huge role in pushing the narrative that Ariana was the next Mariah Carey. And it was hard for Ariana to shake the comparisons because her earlier music like The Way and Baby I were very Mariah Carey inspired, and a few of her other songs sounded similar to Mariah's unreleased tracks. And I would play it in this video, but for copyright reasons, I'm not going to do that. But you get the point. She came out sounding a lot like Mariah, and she was actually supposed to name her first album Daydreaming, which is very similar to Mariah Carey's album title Daydream. So you could see the similarities there, and it was clear that the industry was kind of pushing Ariana to follow that Mariah blueprint, but Ariana didn't necessarily like that direction. Even though she was a fan of Mariah, she had her own musical identity and she had a lot of other influences that had an impact on her music. So she wasn't just a Mariah Carey clone, she was her own person. But when she first came out, people didn't see that right away. And she got a lot of flack from Mariah fans. In fact, a lot of fans were making comparisons online and making videos comparing Ariana to Mariah. And even some celebrities weren't really here for the comparisons between Ariana and Mariah.
Ariana Grande.
She's talented. I just have my own opinion because, everybody says she's like the new Mariah or the next Mariah. I don't agree with that because Mariah's my icon. So there's one Mariah, but Ariana can sing her face off.
Solange Knowles even made a comment about the whole Mariah and Ariana comparisons. She had an exchange with Grimes on Twitter and they were talking about their love for Mariah. And Grimes said, Solange, your voice is awesome. And Solange said, aw man, thanks girl. Mutual feelings, mutual Mariah love, imitation, LOL. Grimes said, well, I would argue that you are significantly better at imitating Mariah than I am. Solange replied back and said, "No one is better at this than Ariana Grande though. So I'ma just chill. LOL, happy Sunday." So that was kind of shady, but Solange quickly said, "P.S. I'm saying Ariana Grande is amazing and one of the best vocalists of our time." And everyone can agree with that. Ariana is great in her own right, but when she first came out, people couldn't help but compare her to Mariah. And the constant comparisons irritated her to the point where she no longer wanted to talk about Mariah in her interviews or even mention Mariah as one of her influences.
As a female artist in this industry, when you first come out, the natural thing for everybody to do is just to compare it to what's already out there. I take it as a huge compliment because Mariah is the queen vocalist, and so I think that's a huge compliment. But I really just can't wait for people to hear the rest of the music and the rest of the album so that they can know what Ariana's about. I want to celebrate what I'm doing, and I think that's special. That's why I don't like to compare, because it's like I don't want to be let down. So, I don't know. I want to do me.
All right, Ariana Grande. Some people are saying that she is being quite a diva already. Well, apparently when she does interviews, there's a whole list of things that you're not allowed to talk about. They said she will not speak about her current and past relationships and anything at all to do with Mariah Carey.
These are my 5 favorite singers. My favorite singers are Imogen Heap. Another one is India Ari. Another one is Whitney Houston. Stevie Wonder, because he's the king and I love him. One more. I'm going to say Judy Garland. My singing influences, my two favorite artists in the entire world are India Ari and Imogen Heap.
All of my favorite albums don't have Grammys. All of my favorite artists didn't have Grammys or number ones for... Actually, I don't think any of my favorite artists have number ones except Madonna.
So as you can see over the years, Ariana avoided crediting Mariah as one of her influences because she wanted to avoid the comparisons. Also, Mariah wasn't exactly here for the comparisons either, and I'm pretty sure Ariana got wind of it, so she may have been slighted as a fan when Mariah did not initially embrace her. But Mariah did not like the idea of somebody being called the new Mariah, so she did not like the comparisons at all. And her ex-husband Nick Cannon actually talked about this during his Vlad TV interview.
Ariana is like the sweetest girl in the world too, but she was the biggest Mariah Carey fan in the world.
I'm sure every female singer can relate to that.
Mariah was her idol, and she sang, was it Emotions? And I remember I showed it to Mariah, and I was like, I knew Ariana because, you know, I was working at Nickelodeon. And I remember taking this, I was like, talking to her, I was like, y'all think about, I'm like, this little girl is dope and she loves you. She just, you know, wants to meet you. And she looked at the video and she's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And then this is what Mariah hates. And Ariana made the cardinal mistake of saying, you know, or I don't even know if it was her, it was associated as like the next or the new Mariah Carey. What the f does that mean? Like, I'm the Mariah Carey. Why do you need another one? Why do you need the next one? Why do you need a new one? And then even I remember then Ariana didn't want to be looked at. She didn't want to be the next Mariah Carey. She wants to be Ariana Grande. So, but what ends up happening is that these people who never even get a chance to meet each other already have animosity towards each other.
Yeah.
So that's how I know, like, because I personally at one point was like trying to get them together because Ariana was such a great fan, such an amazing young lady. And Mariah is super cool too. But when you put that weird in between, then all of a sudden competition, ego.
Right.
And now they both like, well, shit, I'm this, well, shit, I'm this.
Okay, now Mariah, Ariana Grande, they always say she's a young Mariah. How do you feel about those comparisons?
First of all, I'm still young because I discount numbers. Numerically speaking,
okay.
I stopped counting at 17, so I don't know. But I wish everybody all the best of luck. And if this is a career path that they choose, hope that they can achieve longevity.
Because, you know, Jay-Z always says, don't compare me to nobody. I'm offended.
Jay-Z said a lot of things I agree with.
So Mariah agreed with Jay-Z. She was like, don't compare me to nobody. And she had a right to feel the way she felt because at that point, she'd been in the game for 20 plus years. Also, she was still active as an artist. During the height of the comparisons, she did release an album called Me, I Am Mariah, The Elusive Chanteuse, but people completely slept on the album. And meanwhile, the industry was pushing Ariana to be the next Mariah. Now, this situation is rather similar to when the industry pitted Mariah and Whitney against each other. But the difference is Whitney and Mariah were actually peers. Whitney was only out 5 years before Mariah came onto the scene. Ariana, however, came onto the scene 23 years after Mariah did, and at that point, Mariah was stamped as a legend, and she accomplished so much in her career. So for people to compare her to a newcomer was kind of disrespectful. But more than anything, it showed how dismissive some people were of Mariah and her legacy. She was older and she didn't sing the same way she sang when she was in her prime. And because of this, some people thought it made sense to prop Ariana as the next Mariah because she was younger and her voice was reminiscent of Mariah's in the 90s. Ariana, however, had her own sound and style of singing, but it took a few years before people would stop comparing her to Mariah Carey. Back in 2016, there was a meme that went viral, once again comparing Ariana to Mariah. The meme said, when you order it online versus when it arrives. So obviously this was shade to Ariana. And Demi Lovato said in the comment section, you got it the wrong way around, honey. She said Mariah is a legend and is so talented but constantly disses people. It's nasty the way she treats Jennifer. Ari did nothing wrong. So when Demi Lovato said this, Mariah's fans ate her up, especially when she made the comment about Mariah being rude to J-Lo. Anyone who knows the history between Mariah and J-Lo know that Tommy Mottola used J-Lo to sabotage Mariah's career in the early 2000s. That's why Mariah said, I don't know her. So Demi's comment was not received well, and Mariah did briefly address it during her infamous interview on Watch What Happens Live, and she also threw a little diva shade at Ariana in this same interview.
Demi Lovato, I didn't know this, she kind of shaded you on social media. What would you say to Demi?
I don't know her either.
Ariana Grande, do you know her?
No.
Okay, you don't know her. Is she? When I looked at her early in the career, I thought, wow, this is kind of an homage to Mariah a little bit. Did you feel that?
Child, I don't know when early in the career was.
I don't know, a couple of years ago. A couple of years, I don't know.
So in this interview, Mariah was kind of dismissive towards Ariana yet again, and obviously, Mariah was just irritated at this point with the comparisons. And I love Mariah. I'm one of her biggest fans, but I do have to admit, she was being unnecessarily petty towards Ariana. And in Mariah's defense, I could understand why she felt the way she felt because the industry was kind of treating her like she was disposable. But I don't believe Mariah ever really disliked Ariana. I think she disliked the idea of the industry pushing somebody to replace her. Mariah Carey is irreplaceable and nobody can take her legacy away from her. And the same can be said for Ariana. Ariana established her own path and was able to build her own legacy that nobody can take away from her either. So after years of this supposed tension between Mariah and Ariana, they did interact with each other for the first time on social media last year. Ariana wished Mariah Carey a happy birthday, saying, "Happiest anniversary, queen of everything. Loved you then, love you now, and love you tomorrow." Mariah Carey responded and said, "Thank you, darling." And also Mariah invited Ariana to be a part of her All I Want for Christmas sing-along. And she praised Ariana's cameo on Twitter and said, "I love that you did the ad-libs on the bridge. Thank you." And Ariana was clearly touched. Mariah decided to extend the olive branch further and collaborate with Ariana. And I thought that was an amazing way to embrace her. And she's actually the first person Mariah harmonized her whistles with. So that was a really special moment, and Ariana gushed about it on social media. And Mariah tweeted her and said, "I love you." And she also posted this under her Instagram post. "So festive, love this moment so much." So after all the years of Mariah and Ariana not interacting and all the rumors of them supposedly having a feud, they put all those rumors to rest and collaborated on a song. And I'm really happy they were able to share that moment. I'm also happy that Jennifer Hudson got a chance to be a part of that moment as well. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.